Hello. Tonight we're going to have some fun.
Hello. So much
Hello.
fun.
Hello, Katie. Uh, we have
Hi,
we have
Kyle.
quite the voicemails, the messages, videos from our
So much
favorite cabbage lady,
fun.
Jilly Juice.
Yes. I love her. She's like my biggest
Yes.
fan.
Now we will get into who she is in just a second. But Katie, what's been going on this week?
Well, we're going to talk about it in a little bit. Yesterday was my entire day. It was Jilly and Epperly.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, there's this wild story in the news right now of this mother in California who's trying to spin a story where she's saying that like her son who's terminally ill was exposed to the measles. And the media is trying to spin it like she's mad at anti-vaxxers, and she says that parents are making irresponsible choices because they're like putting her son at risk. Well, it turns out the mom is an anti-vaxxer.
Ah, who would have thought?
And yeah, and so the media is literally like it's all over the media, and like I ended up having to write an article because I've known about this woman for a long time, and there was outlets, big outlets that were gonna interview her, and thanks to my crafty work, I thwarted them all.
I want to ask you too, because I saw the thumbnail image for your Ask Me Anything stream that says something like
Yeah.
don't get used to eating your placenta or something like that. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
What is that about?
You know Jason, our favorite Jason Schneider.
Yes.
He's like, I love him. He's one of my patrons. He made that for me because on one of my streams, I talk about how like women that eat their placentas after birth, it's super gross, and do not get used to it because it makes you a cannibal.
Oh man. Okay, I'm sorry I asked. Moving
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Weak
it's
stomach. Weak stomach
disgusting.
incoming.
They want me to make a shirt out of it.
Oh, you know what? That's a good idea. I I will not be buying one, but it's a good idea. I think there are people who um, you need a. Do you have a without a crystal ball shirt? Like, are you on Teespring?
No, not yet. Actually, my one of my followers, Jesse, and I were working on a one that says like hashtag Woo Fighters,
There you go. I like
like
that.
WOOO. Yeah,
Well,
she's
speaking
just
of hashtags and shirts, we have
yeah.
a finally hitting the non-sex shop. You can go to nonsexshow.com/merch and pick up this new "Why You So Bitch Made" shirt. This was has been asked to be made by so many people. They wanted a hashtag bitch made shirt for all the people who have joined the bitch made list here recently, and there have been quite a few of those. By saying you get on this list by either one getting just completely destroyed by Aaron in a debate, or for not showing up when you say that you would. And in honor of the two
Oh,
latest people added, yes, in honor of the two latest people who have been added to the hashtag bitchmade list, you can when you're checking out, you can put in the promo code SFT Raw. That stands for Standing for Truth, and then Raw in honor of Standing for Truth and Raw Mapped. So just put SFT and Raw in the discount code, and you can get free shipping on your shirt. So that's just for them. But the shirt is in all kind of colors, styles, women's shirts, tanks, and there's a mug and a sticker too. So if you want to show off your asking the question that we ask here all the time, why are you so bitch made? Then head over to NonSeq Show. That's NONSEQ show.com/merch and grab one. I love that color too. I ordered me
I
one
know it's
myself. I
very
had to get one.
it's very lovely.
Thank you.
I feel like we need one
Um,
of those for We need one of those for Danny Glass and for Jillian.
Terp derp and cabbage bitch. Cabbage.
Yes.
Ooh, cabbage. Hey,
Cabbage. Cabbage.
that could work.
You didn't
Um,
that's already been made.
well,
It's already
we
been
just pretend like it
presented.
won't.
No, no. What it
Um,
needs to
Oh,
say is, "What a salty cabbage," because
what a
that's
salty
good.
cabbage.
That's good, Dave. That's good.
because Salt and cabbage are the main ingredients, right?
When you get it up, Katie,
Yeah.
what we can do is with Teespring, you can cross sell. So like, I can put the shirt in the non-sex shop, and then when you get yours open, I just ping it to your shop, and you can sell them. You can cross sell like that.
Oh, you're so
we can do that.
sweet. And you guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do.
Yes, she has a stream. I believe you're streaming every day now, right?
Yeah.
Just about.
Today,
Um,
just about, not every day, but and they're not always super long, and they're not always super organized. Today, all I did was uploaded a voicemail from Jillian.
Oh yes, which we're going to get to that here in just a few minutes.
Yes.
The Nunbot hidden word, by the way, is active. It will if you watch any of the flat Earth debates that we have on this channel, then there is one word that dominates pretty much the flat Earth discussions. So if you guess the flat Earth word, then Nunbot will award you with some extra points. Now let's get into what we call This Week in Newsdom, where we take a look at the five stupidest stories, and we begin in Utah. The headline here is that a Utah mother was charged for giving her children lap dances, drugs, alcohol at a birthday party. Now, I always thought my mom was cool, right? I always thought I had a really cool mom. But my mom never gave me lap dances or drugs or alcohol at a party. Did yours?
No. Who does that?
Well, we're about to find out. A Weber County woman is facing a slew of different charges related to her alleged actions at a child's birthday party at her Harrisville home. According to charging documents, 40-year-old Rihanna Renee Nivens partied with at least 12 minors ranging in ages from 14 to 17. Police say during the party, minors drank alcohol, smoked marijuana, and Nivens knew all about it, even joining in to drink with some of the teens. The minor told police at one point, Nivens went upstairs where, according to court documents, she put on a risque outfit, which they described as red and black lingerie, which exposed the defendant's breasts, buttocks, and vagina. Now, this kid's mom, in the middle of a party, goes upstairs, puts on lingerie, exposing her breasts, her buttocks, and vagina. What in the hell? So here's what she's facing. 4 counts of dealing in harmful material to a minor by an adult, all third-degree felonies. 4 counts of lewdness, a Class B misdemeanor, and 4 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, a Class B misdemeanor.
Unreal.
That must have been one hell of a party. One hell of a party. It's hard to feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for the kid. It was cool up until, I guess you could, it wasn't cool, but I could see where it would be, he's got a cool mom, up until the point where she goes upstairs and she puts on the lingerie. And then you're doing that around underage kids, and that's just,
Yeah, that's like some Mary Kay Letourneau. That's some Mary Kay Letourneau stuff, which, by the way, did you see they're getting divorced finally?
I did. I saw that actually on your channel.
Oh, yes. Billy.
Yeah.
Free Billy. Hashtag Free Billy.
You're a lady skeptic. Kyle, I'm a married woman, but can I be your power bottom? Oh, Lord. All right, let's go to the next story. All right. I'd cut people.
Oh, my God.
An ex-megachurch pastor threatens a South Carolina newspaper during a sermon, voices support for pastor who bought his wife a $200,000 Lamborghini.
Oh, this guy is such a turd.
Oh, yes. At one moment, she was preaching about God, love, and hope. A moment later, she was threatening to stab her critics. The co-founder and former pastor of a South Carolina evangelical megachurch threatened a local newspaper Sunday evening during a live-streamed sermon. The threat came as Hope Carpenter shared the stage with the new controversial pastor of Relentless Church in Greenville, John and Aventer Gray, who have been under fire for their lavish spending in recent months. I love you, Pastor John and Pastor Aventer. I believe you, Carpenter told them. I'm praying for you and I'm rooting for you. She then changed the tone drastically. I cut people, Carpenter said right before turning to the audience and pointing toward her front row seat. I got a knife right in that pocketbook. Greenville News, come on. We done went through this. I'm still here, and guess who else is still going to be here? She then pointed to the couple as the audience clapped and cheered. Now let's take a second to
Oh my God.
let's take a second to marvel at what we are seeing, this splendor here. There is a tone set by the president of the United States that the media is the enemy. And so this tone has permeated almost every facet of the evangelical base. They are now telling people from the newspaper that I have a knife in this pocketbook, and if you continue to write shit about me, I will fucking cut you. This is a pastor saying this.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, yeah, and they think that,
What?
I mean, people think that they can sue you for everything. People think that, like, just because you put something in print, suddenly, like, even if it's true, somehow it's slander. And if it's unbecoming or if it's not painting you in the right light, somehow it's false. That's not how it works.
Right.
And seriously, hold on a second. I just have to say one more thing.
Sure.
God has the worst fan base. I mean, seriously.
That's a good point. That should be a shirt too. By the
It
way,
is.
just so we don't clog up the chat, I will turn Nonbot back on towards the end when we get ready to do super chat, so that way it's not closing up. So we're starting the thing now. Remember, we're at the beginning. We'll let you check your points and stuff, and then as we get going, we will. I'll turn it back on as the stream gets to it, just so it doesn't clog up the chat. So basically, I'm not really going to read any more about that. She's angry that the Greenville News reported that John Gray gave his wife a $200,000 Lamborghini for their 8-year anniversary. He said the money did not come from church proceedings, but from a side business.
Yeah,
that
right.
is bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, I wrote about this article. I wrote an article about that, and I was like, "There's no way," because he literally bought it like within a very short time of getting that new job.
Right. It said that in January.
And
Sure.
He bought it for her because he had an affair.
Oh, that's gold. I don't think this doesn't say anything about that. Did you really?
Oh yeah. Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. She has a congregation of 15,000 members and sees more than 200,000 viewers for its online sermons. So there are 15,000 people who support the things that she's saying.
Right.
Unbelievable. Okay. So that's your crazy religion story. Let's go to another one, which I think this is great. This is fantastic. Polish priests burn Harry Potter books to protest magic. Priests in Poland will not tolerate people praising a book that alleges miracles, persecution, and acts of selflessness. An evangelical group calling itself the SMS from Heaven Foundation posted a video online of their leaders burning Harry Potter books. The group's Facebook page shows a priest and young boys. Sorry, any other time that I read a priest and young boys, I'm scared to continue to read. But let's see if this.
I was like, "What are you doing?" And all of a sudden, it went silent. I was like, "Did the noise go out?"
Yeah. Let me see. Let me make sure this isn't going there. A priest and two young boys standing over a fire pit filled with books, including the works of writer J.K. Rowling, whose fictional Potter series follows the adventures of a boy wizard with special powers who tries to do the right thing. We obey the word, these priests said in Polish. Many of those who had practiced magic collected their books and burned them in front of everyone. So they calculated their value and found it to be around 50,000 pieces of silver.
50,000 pieces of silver.
There are so many different things. I feel that number one, they had to buy these books, right? Or somebody bought these books.
Yes. Yeah.
These books could have been donated to orphanages, to kids who don't have the ability to read these books. It could have done some good, but instead they chose to throw them in a pile and burn them for meaningless reasons, to protest something that they're protesting magic, right? In a fiction book, they're protesting something that occurs in a fiction book. This would be the equivalent of me taking an X-Men figurine, setting it on fire because I do not support mutants. It's the same thing.
Right.
There is no such. We know that Harry Potter is not real. No one thinks it's real. No one. Find me someone that thinks it's real.
Well, okay,
Please.
just wait. Hold on. In like 100 years, people won't remember that it was a fictional book, and then they'll start worshiping it. And then what'll happen is a whole religion will come out of it. Oh, wait, that's what happened with Christianity.
Harry Potterism.
Yes, exactly.
Voldemort is Satan. Oh man, this is just, get a grip. Like, do something better with your time. Here's a lovely story. In case you needed another reason to hate Fox News. Fox News viewers now have 3 Mexican countries to worry about. On Sunday, the call box on or the crawler on Fox News read Trump cuts aid to 3 Mexican countries. Now, Katie, do you know of any other Mexican country other than Mexico?
Yeah, that's why I've got this look on my face right now.
Right.
They have like provinces.
In addition to keeping its viewers up to date about the endless parade of menacing caravans that will come pouring over the U.S. border at any minute, Fox News has discovered 2 more Mexicos. The right-wing media outlet posted a graphic Sunday morning informing its audience that Trump had cut U.S. aid to 3 Mexican countries. The error, which should have read, the president was cutting aid to 3 Central American countries. And of course, this appeared on Fox and Friends. This is the same network that put up a picture of what was her name? Patti LaBelle as Aretha Franklin when Aretha Franklin died.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean,
Fox News is, they're like so tone deaf and stupid.
They're the worst. They're literally the worst. And the sad thing is that there are actually people who watch this that think they're getting actual news. That's the saddest thing. There are people who seek this piece of shit network out, getting their news from. That's the saddest thing.
Right.
So if there's no one at Fox News that can't see this and go, I believe that's wrong. There's not 3 Mexicos. This is factually incorrect. And they can't even get a picture right of Aretha Franklin.
That's a really big error. I mean, like, as a writer, I do make some typos, and sometimes I miss a letter, or I like use the wrong word, and I edit and it gets missed. But I generally don't make mistakes where I make up countries.
Yeah. This should have been picked up by if I was, let's say it got through the producer, everybody that's running the show, the anchors that are on TV. Like the moment I read that, I went, and I'm not the brightest crayon in the box, but even I knew this is wrong. Why would they read this? Why would they read this?
Oh, you're the brightest crayon. You're the brightest crayon, though.
Well, I got glitter everywhere. I'm one of those glittery crayons.
Yeah, you're like a magenta glittery one.
Magenta. I'll take it. And then our last story. This is really going to piss you off. Ohio State rep. If police tase or shoot a child, she probably acted stupid or was a punk. Of course, this guy is a Republican. John Becker doubles down on his recent comments about the tasing of an 11-year-old for allegedly shoplifting. Cincinnati police officer Kevin Brown's decision to fire a taser at an 11-year-old suspected of shoplifting from a grocery store in August immediately drew criticism from city officials and advocates. But Ohio State Representative John Becker had a different take. Had it been his daughter, he announced in an August newsletter, I'd be ashamed and embarrassed that she did something stupid enough to get herself tased. Beck's remark appeared in his newsletter, Beckerisms, after the Cincinnati Mayor John Cranley apologized to the officer's actions, and the county prosecutor said the girl would not face charges. An internal review released a month found the officer had violated multiple rules. Becker also addressed the police shooting in his newsletter. He said that rather than blaming the cop, I'd be blaming myself and endlessly soul searching to figure out how I failed as a parent and why my kid grew up to be a punk. He added, based on the evidence of what I see on television, it oftentimes appears to me that justice was delivered to the dead punk.
That's terrible.
When he tased the girl on August 6th, yeah. Huh?
I hope I hope he gets tased, and I hope he gets, like, justice serves him. Oh my gosh, he's horrible.
Oh, I'm sure it will. What'd you say? What were you gonna say, Dave?
I was just gonna say, Shannon Q, it sounds like you've been smoking a lot of cigarettes today. Oh wait, wrong. It got past me. Sorry, just had to do.
It's okay. It's okay. Here's what the girl was tased for. Okay.
Yeah.
When the girl, the report said that the girl had stolen a backpack, some candy, and baby clothes, totaling $53.81. Brown fired his taser from about he fired from about 10 feet away, striking her just below the waist. The body cam video includes Brown telling the girl after he tased her, "Sweetheart, the last thing I want to do is tase you like that. When I say stop, you stop. You know you're caught, just stop. That hurt my heart to do that to you. Then I got to listen to all these idiots out here in the parking lot telling me about how I was wrong for tasing you." Now, I don't know because I wasn't there. And I am not I don't know what his mindset was, so I can't speak to that. But I know that if you're in an altercation with an 11-year-old girl, and she has candy, a backpack, and some baby clothes, I don't think it takes the brightest person to realize that tasing a child is not necessary.
Right.
But beyond that, this guy's comments where he says that she's a punk, that people who get killed by law enforcement deserve to be killed because it's the dead punk's fault. This goes along the lines of the guy that remember when we watched the video of the guy that said that if his kids came out gay, he would drown them.
Yes.
There's this sort of like tone with these battleground state Republicans where
I know
they
they're
just
nuts.
say the most horrible shit, like horrible. Hopefully he'll get voted out of office. He needs to.
These are the same kind of people that tell me that, like, when they were growing up, children didn't have autism. They got their autism beat out of them.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, and I've heard that.
And no, I am not labeling all Republicans like this. I'm just making the comment about how in these sort of battleground state Republicans, like the gentleman that would drown his kid, there are some Republicans that just say some horrible shit towards people. And you might be able to find some instances. Go ahead.
They do it because they have to be provocative, and they just think like they need, the views, and so annoying.
Right. But no, not all Republicans are like that, thankfully. Okay, so that concludes this week in newsroom. That was a lot of dumb. No Florida story this week. There was a runner-up that I almost put in there, and that's about a guy that from Florida that he was so attached to his dog that he kidnapped a scientist to try to make the dog stay alive longer.
It could have been our Florida and animal story, but you know what? You found a way to weave in Ohio, and so Ohio and Florida are kind of the same.
Yeah. So some crazy people out there. But speaking of crazy,
and speaking of Ohio,
there's a lady that she got notoriety. I'm going to let Katie go into her story here in just a minute in detail because Katie knows the ins and outs. But just my interaction with Jilly. Jilly became her rise to fame really hit when she went on Dr. Phil. She went on Dr. Phil with Jeff Holiday. By the way, happy birthday, Jeff Holiday. Hope it's amazing.
Yes.
And that it's everything that you need. Hope you're drunk.
Send him some, send him some love too, because he's trying to quit smoking and he's struggling with that.
Yes.
So make sure that you send him some loves for that. Happy birthday, Jeff. I know.
Happy birthday. But he faced Jilly on Dr. Phil. Jilly Juice is the creator of the protocol, which dumps salt in cabbage juice and claims that it can cure all kinds of things from autism to cancer. Down syndrome. It can regrow your limbs. It can even cure, and this is where I found it interesting. It can even cure the gay. Now, we had Jilly booked for an appearance here on this show about 6 months ago, and it came the day of. And in the live chat, like I do sometimes, I interact with people before the show starts, and I made a joke. I said that if anybody's interested in sending dick pics for science. This is not because I'm looking for dick pics, but just for scientific reasons. You can send those to me. And what we'll do is I will drink Jilly Juice live on the show, and we'll put the dick pics up on my screen, and we'll see if I react to them. And if I react to them, then we know it didn't work. And by the way, let me tell you, people actually did send in dick pics, was the funny part. But she didn't like that.
And you were like, thank you very much.
She didn't like that.
No,
she did not
was
like that at all.
She freaked the F out about that. She had a meltdown over that.
She did. She had an epic meltdown.
And that's how we met.
Right. That led you here. So it was a good thing that she didn't come on. But she had a meltdown not long after. As a result, she got kicked off of Facebook for a bit, and she sicked her hounds on us for a little bit. They eventually got bored, I guess, and moved on. But then they never left Katie, and so I'm gonna let Katie sort of explain in detail her interactions with the cabbage, and we'll talk about what happened this past week.
Yeah, so I've been writing about her since probably the summer. I don't know, August, July, I don't even remember. I have all these wonderful friends that are like, oh my gosh, you need to cover this person, or you need to look at this person, or you need to do that. And I didn't really know a whole lot about her. And this was when I first started at Patheos, and I was still a little bit green to what I was doing. I'm a much more polished writer, I should say, these days. But when I was first introduced to Jillian, I watched Jeff Holiday's amazing The Tale of Salt and Poo 4 or 5 part series. And then I watched her on Dr. Phil. And then I read multiple articles written about her, and then watched a lot of her videos, we should say. And after watching her just like on Dr. Phil and reading some of the stuff about that BuzzFeed wrote, and then like doing some digging, there's been this like claim that this man passed away named Bruce Wilmot, and BuzzFeed actually wrote an article about it in March of 2018. No, Yes, March of 2018. So a year ago. And then she was on Dr. Phil in May. And then after the Dr. Phil appearance, like everything sort of like exploded, right? And then everyone sort of took hold of this story about Bruce Wilmot. And he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and he met Jillian through a really bizarre cult that he got involved with towards the end of his life, which is actually weird because I spoke with Bruce's ex-wife, and he was an atheist, and then all of a sudden like he got like affected from the cancer and somehow got like drawn into all of these conspiracies, and he turned into like this really person she didn't even recognize, she said, and he got drawn into this cult that was like sucked into Jilly Juice at the time. And so they convinced him to start Jilly Juice, and they put him in touch with her, and then they started talking in April, and he decided to stop all of his cancer treatments, and he was going to try, I mean, he had tried other things, but then he was going to try Jilly Juice to fix everything. And he started her protocol in June, and he was, you know, he's a stage 4 cancer, pancreatic cancer, which if you know pancreatic cancer, it's not a forgiving illness. But he wasn't like near, I wouldn't say death per se. He was struggling, but it wasn't bad. But within weeks of starting her protocol, he passed away. And so his family, his daughter specifically, has been very vocal that his consumption of this juice impacted his life. She said he was having diarrhea. He was having a hard time drinking water. He was really dehydrated. He was actually found collapsed on the floor in his apartment. And he was taken to hospice where he died a couple of days later. And his family really believed that the fact that he went on the Jilly Juice that is very high in sodium sort of sped up his illness and made it so that he died. And so, you know, his daughter was interviewed by BuzzFeed. His daughter actually also created a ripoff report article about Jillian. And she's been very vocal about, you know, she thinks that this juice contributed to his death. And so, and she's entitled to feel that way, right? And she's entitled to speak that as, you know, a survivor of her father. And Jillian has never been able to accept the fact that someone has passed away using her protocol. And there's been other issues. I mean, other people have had strokes while on it. I mean, a woman that was on Dr. Phil admitted that she had suffered strokes while using her juice.
2 women.
Because of 2 women. And so this isn't something that like people are faking or making up, but Jillian is convinced to her core that this juice is sort of life's nectar that's going to save everything. And her claim, I should say that like her claims have really sort of trailed off now. She doesn't make the same kind of claims as she once did because the FTC sort of clamped down and said like, you can't make these really outlandish claims. And that happened in, I don't know if it was like December or so, or October. And so she had to scale back, but she still claims that the juice is, you know, she says it's a probiotic, which apparently to her, a probiotic is like the answer to everything, and everything that's not a probiotic. In Jillian's mind, everything that's not a probiotic is an antibiotic, right? And so she thinks, and so she thinks that like your gut health is like responsible for everything else, and that, you know, as long as your gut's in order, your brain's in order, you won't have cancer. Her big thing lately is like that you'll live forever. Like she literally thinks you're going to live infinitely. But boy. She's also, she's also.
Let me ask you this, Katie. How can people be so stupid to follow someone so stupid? Like, how is that a possibility? Because she does have a significant following still, right?
Not as much as she did. Not nearly as much as she used to. Her posts on Facebook. Well, right. She does absolutely have like a little entourage within her little circle. And she still has like a Facebook page that has around 6,000 followers. And then she has like 6,000 people that follow her Facebook page. But I would guess that a lot of the people that I would guess a lot of the people that actually follow her are trolls. I'm not going to lie. I mean, there's groups of like thousands of people that just literally like upload her videos to laugh at her. So what is clear is if you become familiar with watching her videos is that she's become increasingly paranoid and she's become more and more unstable and she's lashing out more and more frequently at people. And as her sort of empire, you should say, or her poop cult is dwindling and diminishing, she isn't getting the kind of exposure that she wants and craves because she's a narcissist and she loves to be online talking to people and she likes to talk at people. She says that a lot. And if you watch her, I mean, at least in the last week, what I'm seeing is a woman that's clearly spiraling out of control. And she's either having some sort of mental health break, whether it's like, whether she has bipolar or something, there's something going on with her where I truly think she needs a psychiatric hold. But, you know, I can't do that. Her husband would have to do that. And that's not going to happen.
I bet you I can tell you exactly what's wrong with her. She has drank this shit to the point that it has fucked her up uncontrollably. Yeah. Like she has either had a
stroke.
You know, a stroke. Yeah, it's to me, it's frightening. Number one, that she even is allowed to spout this stuff on these platforms. Like, you know, it seems like Facebook and Twitter and those sort of things would step in, seeing how this has like potentially killed one person and given 2 women strokes. Like, it's absolutely harmful. How she's able to continue to spout her nonsense is crazy to me. But
Facebook doesn't care. They don't care. I mean, Facebook has a massive problem with alternative health, and they've clamped down on anti-vaxxers. But now Jillian, knowing that, she's pretending like she's on the side of science. But really, what's fueled Jillian, at least in the last, what's fueled her in the last few weeks, is that Alex Jones sat for a deposition a couple weeks ago for his lawsuit, and so she has gotten this fuel in her butt that, you know, he's fighting back against people that are accusing him of spreading conspiracies. And so she's going to fight back against the journalists too. I think part of this also stems from, as you were saying earlier, like President Trump making this whole idea that the media is false and we're falsely reporting things. But in the coverage that I have done on Jillian, I'm not going to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've been snarky and I've been sort of like, I've called her a train wreck and I've, you know, had biting words for her, but I've always used her words. Like, I can be sarcastic, but then her words speak for themselves. Like, this is literally the things that she is saying. And anyone that reads it that has all of their faculties working in their brain will read it and be like, holy monoli, this lady is on something or is not mentally stable, right? But she thinks that because people are critical of her, it's because the media is spinning false stories. She's not realizing that it's her own words that are getting her in trouble. Like, when I write about her, I'm literally using her own words. I'm not saying anything else. Like, when I say that she talks about guns, she does. When I say that she like puts up a picture of her like target practice, she does. When I say that she's like saying that she's walking around like packing, she says that. When I say that she tells people that they can cure whatever with her juice, she says that. I mean, it's not, and she does this thing where she uploads videos manically and she posts manically throughout the day. And, you know, she just gets, right now she's realizing, I think very clearly, that people are losing interest. And she got really mad at me because I called her boring. And she's not very relevant anymore.
That's
and
hilarious.
That really...
you're talking about a woman, though, that and I don't know if people know this or not, but she literally shit herself on stream. Did she not?
Yes.
Literally,
she does.
live on camera. And she laughed about it.
And she talks about putting her finger up her butt, you know? Like, it's...
Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh,
I couldn't
Kyle.
resist. I couldn't
I
resist.
know.
But yeah, she did this on stream live and laughed about it.
Yeah.
Announced it to the world and laughed about it.
Yep.
She's very angry at you, though. I believe we have a voicemail that
Yes.
we can play that she left.
Do you have the-
she left you,
Yeah, it's amazing.
Dave?
Hey, Katie, Joy, Paulson, Mansky, Paulson. I just wanted to request that you remove all articles that are inferencing that I was responsible for Bruce Wilmot's death because they are completely unsubstantiated and scurrilous and sensationalistic and very libelous. And if you don't remove those articles immediately, if not sooner, not even till the end of the month, immediately, if not sooner, I will be doing a lawsuit against your company. So please remove all articles that are basically inferencing that I was responsible for somebody's death because they are unsubstantiated. And you are making money off of libelous, slanderous claims that have no basis in reality, just hearsay. So I'm giving you a chance to correct yourself. If you want to be a professional, play with the big boys.
Play with the big boys.
So, thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
What
Look
a comment.
That she's all cute at the end. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye. Just like a Brett King. That's what Brett King does. Brett King spends 15 minutes louting about how atheists are horrible and then ends it with, all right, God bless.
Yeah, I know.
She said a couple things there. She said that she is going to, she threatened to sue you for libel and slander. And that
because I was very scurrilous. She looked into her she looked in her thesaurus before she called me.
And she said that you had to do it immediately or sooner. That's what I found.
Immediately, if not sooner.
Right.
I don't know how are you doing it before sooner? Before immediately.
Yeah, Jilly. Okay, so earlier today though, apparently she's had a change of tone because she's actually not now threatening to sue you.
Well, so this morning she was like, had an epiphany, she said. And she said that, but here's the thing, you guys. She went on a tirade yesterday. Do you have the video of her calling the BuzzFeed people? I gave that to Dave.
Dave?
We do have that video. I will play it.
Yeah, you should play that one too.
Hi, how are you?
And Jilly,
I'm good, Needy. I have a request. Actually, I sent you an email. Do you remember receiving that email right now?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay, so are you going to remove that article since there was unsubstantiated inferments that I was responsible for Bruce Wilmot's death? Are you going to do me that favor as far as your ethical journalistic integrity?
I have passed on the email to my editors, and I will be back in touch shortly. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I'm sure. Do you have anything else to say?
Have a good one.
Do you have anything else to say about why it is that you put down some unsubstantiated claims that I killed somebody?
Oh, for Jilly.
I have passed on your email to
No, let me ask you a question.
Darling.
Why didn't you go in and retract what you said once you saw that my juice wasn't poisonous and that Bruce didn't die from my juice? He actually, on July 5th, he had a cardiac arrest from a prescription drug that you failed to put in the article.
Can you pause this for a second, babe? It's just cringy to hear her say he didn't die from my juice. My juice is not poisonous. Yes, it is. The salt intake in your juice has caused, we know for a fact, 2 women to have a stroke. That was confirmed at the Dr. Phil show. The salt intake that you put in this juice for somebody that is having already failing health, you advised to get that the protocol wouldn't hurt him. He was already in failing health. The fact that you are not a licensed doctor and made that choice to tell him that. Like, if you were a moral person, if you were somebody that didn't just at your core was a evil, manipulative witch, you would have said, you might want to ask your doctor before you do this, because you should have been concerned about his fucking health and not your bottom line and not your pushing your narrative. You should have been concerned about your health. You weren't. That makes you complicit, at the least.
Yes.
Complicit.
Except she groomed him, you know, and she messaged him for months, convincing him that this would treat and cure his cancer. She took a man that was extremely vulnerable and desperate to live, and she used that to her advantage. And she does this with children that are cancer. That she does this to parents of children that have, parents of kids with cancer. She tells them to go off chemo. I mean, she's making really. So if she wants to get mad at me and say, if you're going to play with the big boys, you need to take responsibility. Well, Jillian, if you're going to play with the big boys and pretend to be a doctor when you're not and give medical advice that isn't really, you know, practical or helpful and very dangerous, you need to, you know, realize there's consequences for those choices. Right.
And people are asking in the chat what the juice is. The juice is basically made of fermented cabbage that's blended up with salt, and the salt is the key thing here. The dose.
It has 2 tablespoons.
What's the amount?
It has 2 tablespoons of. It has 2 tablespoons or a tablespoon of salt in 16 ounces.
And that's per
a table.
That is per dose. So how many of these are people taking a day?
Up to a gallon.
Okay, so you do the math there. That is a week's worth of salt, at least in a day.
Way more. It's like literally, if you were to give this to your child, like less than a cup of it would be fatal.
That's insane. That's insanity. There's actually a child I saw on Dateline that died of too much salt.
Gavin.
A couple years ago.
Yep, Gavin Spears. Lacey Spears murdered him. She put salt in his
G2. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say that she thinks that salt is good. And so that's where she's changed her tune. And I think I sent that video to Dave where we can talk about that one. I have like lots of Jillian videos. I think it's really fun to like see. This is where I think she doesn't understand. Like in her own words, she sounds crazy. And she spins her own web and she creates her own problems. And then she puts it on the media for reporting what she's doing. And the problem is that she doesn't realize is that she's put herself in a position where she's a public figure. And public figures are held to a different standard than private citizens. It's like you or me. People can say things about us and we don't have the same legal rights as a person that doesn't put themselves out there. And so by putting herself out there, she loses some of that legal right. And she doesn't get that.
What's even more bizarre to me is the fact that she's able to say these things on somewhere like YouTube or Facebook when, especially YouTube. YouTube will censor channels that have no reason to be, they demonetized Godless Cranium, who puts out like really good views. They took him off the partnership program. Like their standard for it's just fucked. How she's able to get on here and push this junk that's harming people is it's infuriating.
I know they demonetized me if like I did an episode on Alex Jones just to criticize his deposition, and they demonetized me for it. Like what? I'm not even supporting what he says. They demonetized me. They demonetized me for talking about body positivity. What?
Mm-hmm. They do that because and that's why I say your titles have to have like positive. Because what they do is the algorithm runs it, and they're scared of the advertisers. Is what it is. Like if you have anything that could be potentially controversial, they will demonetize it. Which is interesting because we did a show about the real story of the lost city of Z, which is totally an educational thing. It just went into like what really happened to this guy that went exploring in Central America. That was demonetized. However, the most controversial thing we've ever done on this channel, the slave debate, monetized.
Yeah. It makes no sense. I know. It's weird because I did an entire episode on vagina, like woo, and they monetized that, but then I can't talk about body positivity. What?
Right.
I mean,
Vagina's
body
good.
positivity.
Happy about
Yeah.
vagina's bad.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And they didn't monetize our smoking nun about Larry Cook, whatever.
Let's get to the video where she that you were just talking about just a second ago.
Oh, do you have the video of her talking about math? Like it's an 8-minute one where she has
No.
like all the answers, Dave?
No, I don't actually have that one. You didn't send it.
Oh, well then
I can send
let's
it to
just, huh?
I can send it to him. I think you sent it to me, didn't you?
Did I send you the 8-minute one? I think I did.
I think you did. I can I'll forward it to you, Dave. You can continue talking about, well, you can set it up and I'll send it to him while you're doing that.
So yesterday, like if you're listening to this, she's basically calling. So she called Newsweek, or she called me. She called BuzzFeed. She emailed Newsweek, and she was going to try to get in touch with the Daily Mail. And the funny thing is that BuzzFeed and the Daily Mail actually interviewed her. So like they used her own words. Like she sat down for an interview with them. And she wanted them to retract the information because they inferred things. But you don't get to, you don't retract things for inferences. Like inferences aren't like that's like, you can't retract that. It's just stupid. And so she was going to sue all of us. And then this morning she woke up and she spoke to a lawyer. And I think she realized pretty quick how expensive it is to actually sue people. And then, like, if you're going to take on someone like the Daily Mail or BuzzFeed or Newsweek, do you know how many big those pockets are? They'd kill her in court.
Huge.
Right.
Dave, that's going to be in the current folder right now. And boom. So we can get that and watch that of her. Yeah, I think I heard that Jeff is actually going to be coming out with a new Jilly Juice video soon. I just wonder, like, I wonder to what end this is going to take. Like, she's obviously in her death throes. She with the hit from the FTC and sort of that the guy. Here's what I was wondering: the guy that was like her right hand man. That
Kevin,
like,
he's still there.
He's still there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They fight, but he's still there. But that's the thing, is now she's saying that like all of this media exposure has damaged her emotionally, that she can't find a job. But it's like, Jillian, you said that this was your job.
Yeah,
like,
good. I'm glad that it's actually damaged her.
Well, she's damaging herself by putting out videos 15 times a day where she sounds like she's manic. I literally think this juice has damaged her brain.
Here's the thing that people need to understand. You can't do shit like this, evil shit, like knowingly harm somebody and continue to push this narrative knowing that it can't regrow limbs, giving false hope to people who are desperate, that think that this may be the last end-all cure-all. You can't do shit like that to people and come out with it not affecting your underlying mental health. Like, being that devious and that evil is going to fuck you up. That's just what happens. That's sort of a counterbalance to you just don't get away with that shit, I don't think. Like, she's promising people. She literally put up a post on Facebook. It was last October. I remember reading it going, this is not real. This is not in any way, shape, or form real. That said, if you will allow me to adopt you, she was seeking out people who were amputees, people who had been to war and lost limbs, seeking these people out, telling them that she could regrow their arms, their legs. That's
Yeah.
an evil. That is an evil person. Evil.
Well, it's evil to tell it's evil to tell someone who has cancer that they can go off their medication. It's evil to tell someone who is dying that if you try this, you will live. It's evil to tell parents that have cancer cancer kids, your kid will be cured. I mean, children with feeding tubes. I mean, she's telling people to put this in feeding tubes.
Mm-hmm. What's her?
She's
what's her
telling
religious?
She's not.
You know her religious? She's not. Okay.
She's not. Yeah.
It's interesting. So
she's all about science.
Okay, so if she doesn't have a religious motivation, what is her problem? What is her issue with people who are gay? Because she considers this a negative to be gay. Like it's not natural. Where does that come from?
She's extremely conservative. She's like very to the right. And her husband is very to the right, and she's very like conspiracy minded, and she like listened and was sucked into InfoWars for years. She's just she might have religious background, like in her background, like, but now she isn't religious. But yeah. And I don't know.
I just wonder, like, if she's not religious, usually the proclivity to, not like people who are gay most always stems out of a religious place. I find it interesting if she's not religious, where that comes from. Like if what's telling her that this is not, because it's usually the Bible that says it's an abomination or not natural. So it may be that
in her mind, she thinks that if you are not like straight and heterosexual, then you are mutated. And so in her mind, like anything that's not normal is mutated. And like you are not normal because you are gay in her mind. And that means you are mutated and you are doing she thinks that being gay is not natural, and natural is reproduction. But she also thinks that if you're reproducing, you're dying. So if you're reproducing, you're also bad. So she doesn't want people to have kids. I mean, she thinks if people are reproducing, she's, and that's something where I think she is a woman that's in her 40s. She's never had children. Is this rooted in the fact that she didn't have children either by choice or because she couldn't? Is there something underneath that's pushing that narrative? Is there something in her past that's pushing this whole idea that being gay is wrong? There's so much about her she doesn't tell you and that you don't know. And so it's hard to know where this is coming from. She says it's coming from a place of science.
Could be. So she doesn't have any kids?
No.
No. Okay. Now that's interesting that you say that about the, that could very well be a reason that she thinks that it is against, sort of a natural way of things, that people are supposed to reproduce and that gays obviously can't. So this is why she needs to fix them. However,
yep.
I will say this, Jillian, if you're watching this, let me explain something to you. If you would consider you normal, if that's a standard that you go by, that you are normal, then I am so fucking happy that I am not normal. So
that you are fabulous.
I couldn't be happier to be abnormal right now than if you're the marker of what's Dave, did you get that video?
I did. Did you like
okay.
Switch? Let's go.
So this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Hey everybody. So I just wanted to say really quickly that I had this little issue in my head that I had to work out, and oh my God, I'll tell you what, when your gut health is so right on, you will have a problem in your head that you've never ever dealt with before. And then you will
What the fuck are you talking about?
And I'll tell you what, I was looking at, and I'm not very strong in math,
Dave, pause it.
I'm not very.
Jilly,
Stop.
Jilly, listen, darling, you need a friend, okay? You need a friend that will tell you that you can let know every time you get the inclination to start a stream. They can go, no, this is a bad idea, because
I know.
This is like watching a descent into madness a little bit. Like,
yes,
she's
and
literally
it's like
unhinged.
it's like when your friend is drunk, you know, and they're like, hold my beer, I'm gonna go jump off this cliff. It's like she needs that friend that's gonna be like, I'm not gonna hold that beer for you, and I'm gonna actually put you in a straitjacket so you don't do that.
No, Katie. If in this scenario that friend wants to run off of a bridge, I'm not going to stop. I will hold the beer and send her on her way. Please, Jilly. There's the bridge. Go jump. So let's see what else she has to say in this. Even though
it's gonna get better. Just wait.
Strong in math. But hey, Jeffrey Snell, I'm not very strong in math, but I figured out a formula that I was just totally racking my head. And I don't do, Kevin, I'm on Facebook Live.
Is she drunk?
Hold on, I gotta tell him I'm on Facebook Live.
This is what she does. This is how she interacts.
Second.
This is how she's on like all of her streams. She's like ADHD to the math.
So yeah, I was rocking in my head how to figure out this formula. Cause and then you know, and so that's what I'm saying, you guys.
I
do
was
the juice
in my head.
Like seriously, because you will have, hey Jennifer, you will have a problem in your head, okay? That you will like, how the hell do I figure this out? Like you're coming from nothing because you don't know. You never dealt with a specific formula.
Right. I never dealt with this.
You never dealt with a specific formula, and now you got to go and plug in. It's like algebra. I didn't realize that all these different formulas is like algebra. Well, of course it is. But so is like life. Everything about life is, you know, as long as you can translate it into units and into chemistry and all this stuff, everything is math. It really is. Of course it is.
No.
And so, you know, I'm beginning to really appreciate numbers and math. I mean, but I figured out a formula that I was very puzzled on how I was going to figure out this formula. Because this is not a formula I've ever dealt with before.
Wait, hold on.
And so
I'm just like, so much better.
I got to figure out this formula. So I figured out the formula. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm just letting you know that when you guys deal with a specific problem, you're trying to figure out and apply something.
Actually, that's a good idea.
And you're coming from like no experience, and then you got to go and pull numbers from different places to.
I paused it because she strikes me as a very good pairing with Mr. ID.
Oh, I wouldn't even do that to Mr. ID. Like, at least Mr. ID is harmless. He's harmless.
Like the same thing. Like, well, yeah, Edgar's harmless, but this is like this. There's a formula, and you gotta have the number, problem, solution. You know, it all sounds.
She's just. I mean, she's like jibber jabber, jibber jibber. Side of word salad, sprinkle, salt. Yay! No, wait, it gets better. Unpause it. I'm telling you, we haven't even gotten to the good stuff.
All this stuff. And yeah, it could be like taxes. It could be like anything in where there is a calculation to justify numbers.
Here it comes.
Oh my God.
Okay? So that's what's amazing is that everything can be justified. Everything can be justified. And then we have the law. So this is where belief systems. All belief systems are justified. Because if you have a belief system, no matter where it comes from, okay? You could be, you know, a person that believes that salt is horrible and thinks that salt is dehydrative and water and not understanding electrolytes, and that's okay. That's your belief system.
He's talking about
and that's as far as you want to go. That is your right. Nobody is going to take that away from you. And yes, you are more than welcome to elicit other people to support you in whatever it is that you believe in.
Dave,
that's like a fact. That's actually not a belief. That's a fact that it dehydrates.
Yes, it does. But no one thinks that salt is bad, like in and of itself.
No.
Salt is a necessary component to life. You have to have salt. The issue here is the amount that you are telling people to intake at one time. It is not salt as a whole. You can die from having too much water at one time. There are fraternity guys all across this country who have died in hazing accidents for drinking too much water at one time. There are certain things that if you have too much of, you will fucking die. It doesn't make water itself a bad thing.
And the irony of them dying from too much water is because they have too little salt as a result. That's the funny part about that.
Well, it's essential. Like your body needs it.
Yeah, you have to.
But
you do have to have an electrolyte balance, and she's correct with that. But what I love about this is she says that salt is a belief system, and it's a belief that we think that salt dehydrates. No, Jillian, it's actually a fact that salt dehydrates you. That's not a belief. It literally does. If you have too much salt, you become dehydrated. It's why when you eat salty food, you want to take a drink.
Too much anything is bad for you. Too much anything is bad for you, except sex. It is the only thing that in life you can never have too much of. The only thing.
Yes.
And Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's what I'm going to do. Look, the Kyle
I would say
protocol.
M&M's.
Listen, folks, listen. If you're tired of being unfabulous, right, and you want to, you're tired of the boring, go to your blender, blend up a bunch of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, replace the salt and Jilly juice with sugar. Just dump let's go with 6 cups of sugar per dosage. Okay, 6 cups. Blend it up with some milk.
Holy cow! You're gonna
shoot that. Listen, Dave. This is not the time. This is not the time to question. It's time to believe. Okay, if you want to be fabulous,
that would be like syrup.
I believe. No, Kyle, tell me more.
Syrup.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I don't have anything else prepared. Just eat this.
And then will I get a cute boyfriend that lives in another state that I have to go see and get stuck on the plane all the time?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He's adorable. Yes.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yes, you can never have too much bacon. Yes, bacon would work too. Actually, just throw the bacon in there. Throw the bacon in with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and yeah. You see how ridiculous that sounds?
It
sounds ridiculous.
And then add a little.
You know why?
Add M&Ms. Add M&Ms.
Sure, fuck it. Just throw anything in there that you want. But you know what? Too much sugar will eventually kill you. It will give you diabetes. It will cause you to become overweight. Everything in large amounts will fucking kill you, except sex.
But no,
Once
Kyle.
again, remember,
Kyle, it won't.
Sex will not kill you.
No, Kyle.
Yeah.
It will not. It will not, Kyle. Because remember, too much sugar, that causing diabetes, that's a belief system, Kyle. That's not true.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely.
No, let's play. Come on.
And then I have a right to believe in my belief systems. And then I have a right to be able to spout them off and elicit people in my corner. So if you don't believe in salt, then you tell everybody in your world, don't take any salt at all, and that's fine. And then I believe in salt and electrolytes and fermented cabbage and kale, and the people understand the value of salt and water and electrolytes and all that stuff, then yes, you guys are understanding where I'm coming from.
Okay.
And
listen,
then there are the people.
Dave. Listen, here's the thing. Yes, you absolutely have the right to espouse your bullshit over and over again. But you also have to deal with what comes with that and the consequences when you negatively influence someone's life, i.e. you give them a stroke. In the worst case scenario, it leads to their death. No, you didn't pull the trigger on that gun. You didn't pull the trigger on that gun, but you loaded it for him. You put the bullets in the gun and handed it back over to him. Yes, it was his decision to drink the protocol and to go through with it, but you gave him the tools he needed that eventually led to his death. And you have to deal with the ramifications of
Right,
your
and
speech,
it's
your right to say whatever
and
you want to.
it's not even that she's espousing a belief system. She's telling people to do this. Buy my book. Follow this protocol. I promise it'll work. It's not a belief system when you're telling someone to buy your book and follow your protocol. Then that's you're giving them directions.
Right. And I don't want to hear that she didn't know this would happen. With that amount of salt, giving someone, this guy, she knew this guy's medical history. This guy told her about his failing health, that this was sort of a last-ditch effort for him. She knowingly told him that this would cure his ailment, that this would create this would fix whatever issues that he had going on. That is evil as fuck, period. And she's responsible for that death, 100%. Dave?
People in the middle who don't understand certain things, and then something happens, and then we have the law to figure out who's right and who's wrong. It's not up to me to say, oh yeah, I'm right and I'm right. You know, I mean, I can say I'm right, and the other person can say they're right, whoever it is. Two different sides, right? So it's not up to me to say that my way of right is the law. It's up to the system that's there to then substantiate whether or not something is lawful or unlawful. And that's the beauty of our system. That's the beauty of it.
Oh, you're
which means that there's laws.
Okay, so what
That's
she's
dangerous.
saying.
That's dangerous.
So why she's saying this is she's saying that we can say that this killed Bruce, but the laws don't say that. So the laws are on her side, and that's why she's saying that.
Maybe they are. Maybe she can't be prosecuted for this because she didn't. This was something that he prepared himself, and maybe she is covered in that sense. However, if she has a shred of dignity and a conscience, this will impact her somewhere down the line. It may not now, but eventually, this will eat her up. Like, people can't do this to other people and come out unscathed. It just doesn't work like that. Or I don't believe it does.
Sure, law is in the body, law is in communities, and that's huge. And why is this a lesson? Because I just figured out a formula that I had no experience with. Absolutely none. There's my dog. Sugar, what are you doing? Don't commit suicide. Okay. What? All right.
What? Don't.
Yeah.
Why would she say that? That doesn't make sense.
What is wrong? I mean, this bitch crazy.
I'll take you out in a minute. I'll take you out in a minute, okay? But anyways, my dog wants me, but I'm gonna go spend some time with her. But I wanted to, but I had this little issue in my head, a formula that I just could not figure out. I figured it out, and then I ran it by one of my people, my inner circle, and there's two more I got to call just to let them know so they understand where I'm coming from, because I was running it by them. And then yeah, everything is great. Everything is great. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I am so happy to be alive.
Feel that way, Jillian.
I'm so happy that I understand laws and formulas and math, and I don't give up, and I know that I'm on the side of right regardless, and I'm just happy. Now, I don't want to be happy all the time, because that would mean having an imbalance, but I'm happy enough to know.
Hey, pause it for a second. Speaking of her dog, I want people to know this, because I thought this would be the end of her. She put up several posts several months ago instructing her followers to start giving this protocol to their pets, their dogs.
Yeah, and her dog Sugar looks terrible now. Terrible.
Yes, that dog that you see in this frame, she has been giving this fucking bullshit to that dog. Now, if that doesn't piss you, now it's one thing for an adult to make the choice to put this in their body. It's a whole other thing to make an animal suffer through what this shit does to you because they don't have a choice, because they are loving and trust this wicked bitch enough to think that what she's giving them is going to help them. But how many animals are harmed by this for people who are listening to this nutbag? It's insanity.
I know.
It's insanity.
That when I have a problem, I have great gut health to keep my body healthy, to keep all of my collagen in place, to keep my hair thick, to keep a great audience. It may not be as huge as some of those others out there, but that's okay.
Oh,
yes,
that made my vagina cry.
I am grateful for everything that I have done since bringing out Jilly Juice to everybody. And I really sympathize for to those that don't get it, and that's okay.
So now she's sympathizing with me because we don't get it, Kyle. Did you see that? And my vagina got super dry when she did that thing with her hair. Like, I just got so unhorny. That was just. Yeah.
I think, and people in the chat, I think you're right. I don't see why she can't get hit for animal abuse doing this shit. Like, that is absolutely animal abuse. That is forcing an animal to ingest a substance that can literally kill them. And the fact that she's doing this to her dogs and telling other people to do it is just out fucking outrageous. So I don't blame anyone that would like to call the animal control in her area if you feel the need. I'm not telling you to, but if you so get inclined, then I think that gives you a brighter halo in heaven one day.
Yes. I have a question here over my side. What motivates her? Money, or does she believe it? With Jillian, she fundamentally believes this, and then she's motivated by the adulation she gets because she's a narcissist, and she is obsessed with that affection.
Katie, you might want to refresh your browser. You starting to cut out there. Might have to hit refresh and
Hold on.
You're going choppy.
What do I do? Just close out and
just in the browser, hit the refresh icon like you would if you're on a web page. It should keep you here. It'll just refresh everything.
Is that better? No.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Where is Jillian located? Like,
she is located in Canton, Ohio.
Canton, Ohio. Okay. So people have that's what people are asking in the chat, so they could call and inquire about the state of that poor little dog up there. I mean, who would
guys?
What?
This is how stupid she is. She called me on her phone. I have her phone number now.
Yeah, but she got your phone by some other means, though, right? You didn't give her your number.
No, I did not. And she also like said that she found my business financials and said that I made $37,000. No, that's not what I made. And I don't know where she got that information from. I don't know how she even got my phone number. I didn't give it to her. I don't have it listed on things. It's a cell phone number. It's not a publicly listed phone number.
Yeah.
Which means she had to pay for it.
Why? It bothers me what she.
Dave?
Too much salt, probably. Dave, are you with us? Maybe we lost Dave. Maybe that's why.
I can hear him, but he's very faint. What's going on, Dave?
I'm right here.
I don't hear him at all.
How about now?
Better.
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's happening?
It says it's on.
Okay.
Oh.
We were buffering there for a minute.
Let me check.
How we are.
Okay, it's better now. It's better. It was buffering there.
YouTube's been doing this stuff all day.
Yeah, I tried to do a live stream yesterday, and I couldn't even get on because it buffered the whole time.
Yeah.
It's the salt. There's too much salt in this stream.
Too much salt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, where are we? Well, we're at an hour and a half. So
she's almost done.
She's got about 1:32 left in the video.
Yeah.
Let's let it go.
Let's hear finish out.
We always have to follow the law. Know the rules. Know the rules. If you don't know the laws, believe all the stories, you get in hot water. So anyways, I'm going to go and hang out with my dog. Put her outside. We'll hang out outside, call a few people. And then, yeah, I will talk at you guys later. But I want to let you know that everything is okay. Later. I know I had some weird posts like, oh my God. But no, that last post that I did, I was in the middle of a quandary. I was in the middle of such a quandary of like questioning, okay, if I can't figure out this formula, then what the heck? What WTF? There, I know, I see you, Shuggy. And then I figured out the formula. It was an aha moment. It was like something sent from, I don't know, a higher power? My hormones? My gut? The 13 million colony forming units that are making their representation in my gut as we speak, because guess what? Ooh, there's my juice. And guess what? This has been fermented for at least 6 months. But you can go as short as 3 days, between 65 and 72 degrees.
Drink it.
So yeah, pretty awesome. All right, you guys have a great one. Thank you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Fuck off. Stupid.
All right.
Let me show you a. Let me show you.
I just saw the hashtag. What a salty cabbage.
I'm telling you, Jilly, I have a formula that I would like to give you. Let me just see here. Let me break out my my Einstein.
Having a hard time with algebra? Are you having a hard time with math?
We are too.
Both streams, both like both. Okay, wait. Now yours is okay. 2 is being stupid. Let me start 2 again. All right, let's see if it comes back.
I think we're back. Well, if we are back, we're getting towards the end. Anyway, I'm just going to pull out super chats. But I was just saying that her mindset, her ability to sort of spin what she's doing, I think this comes from a guilty place. I think what we're seeing in videos like what we just saw is her trying to cope with what she realizes is the end of the Jilly Juice poop pyre, so to speak. Like her empire of
is crumbling.
Is crumbling, and she is trying to save face by I'll just laugh it off. You know, it's so I'm still in control. But nobody buys it. Only the people that you've managed to fool and bullshit. No one else buys this. We all see you exactly for who you are, and who you are is a manipulative, conniving, harmful woman that is motivated by greed and money and fame, and not for what you say it is. You claim that you have the people's health at the forefront, that you care about what people are going through, whether they are, but you don't. Otherwise, you would realize that what you're doing is harming people, harming animals, and you would stop.
Right.
A moral person, someone who really cares about people's health, would just fucking stop or not do it, period. But you don't. You persist, you continue, and you laugh it off like it's funny, like you don't have a care in the world. Well, let me tell you, that's not going to last, sweetheart. And there will come a day soon where your conscience will either eat you alive, or the laws will change such that you get what you really deserve, and that is to be thrown in a cage and the key thrown away so that you don't ever harm another person again. Period. Katie, any final thoughts that you have?
I'm just, always scurrilously libelous and very slanderously defaming the algebraic content.
Man, I don't understand what's going on with this. Like, I really don't.
Are we still like, oh, we're offline again?
Like, I'm seriously not doing anything. I'm looking at this.
It's YouTube. It's YouTube.
It's YouTube being stupid.
Well, she said there's somebody in the chat that said, "Is she smart enough to have somebody that could send a DDoS attack?" Which that's definitely probable. I mean, that could happen.
Yeah. They have who?
I'm not a DDoS. It's like somebody sends a script that can kick you offline. I don't know if I'm that conspiratorial or whatever, but it's possible. I don't know. It's weird that it happens after we get kind of rolling on her. But anyway, Dave, just let me know when we're back.
We should be back right now.
We are back. We're back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna switch over to super chats now, and we'll get those out of the way. Vandy004, 2 super chats with no message, but hi, because I know that's what you normally say. Yuhan Roderick says, word to guess the secret word. The secret word was droppity. Droppity. I will now turn I'll turn NunBot back on now so that you guys can check your points. You should be able to, if you guys type in redeem, and now only do this if you are okay with sacrificing like I think it's 50 of your points. Don't do this if you don't want to give up any points, but just so we can kind of see if it's working. When NunBot comes up, hit exclamation point redeem shout out, all one word. So it's exclamation point redeem and then space and then shout out, all one word. And if she works, but only do that if you're okay with sacrificing, because I don't have the list that it's gonna give me to kind of go by yet. It's just a test, but I can't do that until we see if it's working. So if you want to try that, you can.
I am.
Mark Visor says death to NunBot. Dan Roderick says Harry Potter's more real than God. I agree. Brainy Beaver, it's Brown Mexico, more Brown Mexico and Browner Mexico. It's funny. Young Murph, the cut man, says the pic looks like Tong Po in the movie Kickboxer. Night Demon US says she looks like her juice is lethal. Just saying. Josh Harris with a message, with no message. Thank you for the super chat. Night Demon US, Jilly Juice, the new urine wine substitute. Get it while it's hot. Not currently FDA registered. That's correct. Antarctic Dissuasion Force says, hey guys, my first time seeing you live. Love you guys. And damn, Kyle, you so sexy. Oh, thank you. That just made my day. Rebecca Clary says, Jilly needs to jump in her own dumpster fire. I agree. Gus, do you think Jilly really drinks the juice regularly? I'm not sure how anyone's kidneys could still function for so long after that much abuse. Maybe she's faking it. That could very well be. Alan Sanders, Jilly, the media is ruining my business. Me, good. Get a real job and some therapy, you lying con artist. That's very good advice. Miss DeJessa says, shows with Katie are some of the best. By the way, Miss Jilly said her juice can cure being trans too. I'm glad she doesn't have kids. Imagine the abuse. Very, very good point. Nate M. Yeah, Nate M. They wanted us.
Who was that said that I was the best?
Miss DeJeza. Miss DeJeza.
Thank you. I love you.
Nate M. They warned us when they taught us to give IVs to keep an eye on the patient because you can easily give too many. Night Demon US. Oh man. Tetrahydra cannabinol. Tetrahydra cannabinol. I hope I said that right. And sex has no limit. Can't of on that. John Newton, Jilly juice is dangerous. moron, and Kyle, get your hair cut. Blasphemy. How dare you, sir? Herbert Louise says, in my family, someone started to drink this shit, and luckily me and a couple of friends stopped her with some weeks of talk and patience. Very good. Probably saved her life. And then Antarctic Dissuasion Force says, doing that to a dog is like a vegan gains in his vegan dog. Just don't do it. I agree. I think that's borderline maniacal. Night Demon US, Dave spilled the Jilly juice on his keyboard. Very accurate. And Vandy04, hi, but spelled HIGH instead of his normal.
Wow, you had a lot of super chats. Good job. Yay!
Yeah.
Thanks for supporting.
Did anybody try the here, let me see if it works for me. Let's do this. Let's do a test here.
Oh, I did it, Kyle. It worked for me.
It did?
I got a follow on stream, which kind of is meaningless for me.
Okay. I need to see if it just want to make sure. Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, so it does. It spent 50 points. Okay, good. So starting tomorrow, I will have in the description. Now that we know it works, I'll have the description on what the numbers are and what you can get for those numbers. Now, how this is going to work is because of the sheer numbers of people that are going to probably be like redeeming stuff. I'm going to try, like, depending what it's supposed to do. Theoretically, what it's supposed to do is supposed to build me a spreadsheet. So as you redeem stuff, it will kick into a Microsoft Excel document, like what your username is and what you spent it on. You will actually redeem those the following show, because there's no way I'll be able to get to it that show. So in other words, if you want to redeem a super chat, right, you can redeem it on the next show, because then I will have that list once it's done and I close out the stream. It will generate that report for me, and I'll be able to, say, hey, this is in fact, you'll just have to tag me and let me know when you actually want to redeem it. I'll just have it as a kind of a master list. And as you let me know that you're ready to, do that super chat, then I can do that. Now, with stuff with merchandise, it will do the same thing. It will build that spreadsheet, and then we'll send that as the list gets sort of generated. That's easier to do than the sort of interactive stuff that takes place in stream. That will have to take place the next show, just because of logistic reasons and the amount of things that we do. Okay, so now we know it works. That's good. Let's see. It's only worth it if we get a follow from the almighty source itself. Yeah, that's just a test. Don't think that's not an actual thing. That was just a test run. That's why I said don't do it if you don't want to lose those points, because it's just that's just a filler. That's not an actual item. Although it could be, I guess. If you have a Twitter account that you want us to follow you on. But I follow you guys anyway when you want me to. So I'm not gonna charge you guys points to follow you on Twitter. I'll follow you on Twitter. Just let me know.
Wait, are you charging people for points for super chats or something?
No, they can redeem it at like the amount of time that you watch. You accrue points on here through the chat. So once you hit a certain level, you can trade that in. So instead of paying for a super chat, you can use your points and get into a super chat.
Oh, I love that.
Sort of it's an incentive to continue to watch and stay in.
Yeah. I love that.
And we do that because we have the greatest live chat on YouTube. So we
might
as well.
It's so active. I can't wait to one day have as an amazing super chat like world and chat live chat. But my community is getting really good. I've got some nice people every night.
Good. Well, we never get content here at NonSequitur, and we're going to continue to make this the funnest live chat to come and watch, and hopefully you stick through this, because there's no reason not to. You guys are loyal.
We are so fun.
You guys are loyal, and you have supported us, and so we're going to try to do everything we can to give back as much as we can to you guys. I think that's a very very important that we do that. So, Katie, do you have anything before we close out and say goodnight to everybody? I think I got one more.
I just am really think you look really handsome, and I didn't tell you that. So.
Oh, thank you. Leah, hey Leah. She was our guest last week. She says sub 2 without a crystal ball, people. We have fun there. Also, hi Kyle. Hello to you, Leah.
And Lily, oh yeah, Jilly, Leah on my says ding.
Because they think they're vampires, so we'll learn all about that here soon. And thank you for sticking with us, and we'll see you tomorrow.